What's happening, y'all? Countercultural Life coming to you straight from Study Studio, aka The Kickback, as usual, with the most amazing podcast producer on the planet. I stole him away in his youth before he gets recognized and people start paying him a lot of money. It's too late for that. I already got him. And I got him under contract for at least 42 years. So there's that.
Anyway, should have read that fine print.
Yeah, you should have read the fine print. I'm saying, just put it in there. So my daughter's a lawyer now. She shows me about the fine print. We make it happen. So sorry, you should have read the fine print. Anyway, coming in with a different episode style format today because we really got to talk about this. We have the aficionado, all things movies, Noah Lowe. Holler at your boy. What are we talking about today? Let's go.
All right. So for people that have listened to the podcast at the beginning and like when we have guests and stuff, we are like low-key a conspiracy theory podcast. Just like very low-key though, okay? It's not the main thing, but we like asking guests what their favorite conspiracy theory is, stuff like that. It's a fun topic that Drew and I bonded over. And so of course, we were going to be interested in the new Steven Spielberg joint, Disclosure Day. So I'm going to read a quick plot synopsis, and then I'm going to talk a little bit about some of the reception around it, and then we're going to go into spoiler land. So Disclosure Day, we deserve to know. A cybersecurity expert becomes a whistleblower to reveal secrets about aliens, putting him on the run from a corporation while a meteorologist experiences strange phenomena and joins forces with him to prove there's life beyond our knowledge. So this film, you might say, what's important about it? Why is it a big deal? It's directed by Steven Spielberg. If you don't know who Steven Spielberg is, why are you watching this podcast? Yeah,
exactly. How are you alive?
I will say, you know what's really bad? I have a huge hole in my movies that I've seen of Steven Spielberg, which is getting addressed partially by this year, my challenge that I've talked about. I'm seeing a few Steven Spielbergs. I'm looking forward to seeing Close Encounters of the Third Kind. Very soon, I'm going to get a new streaming service where I can watch that. So that's why it's a big deal, though. So it's a new Steven Spielberg thing. And I will just say that people don't really like the movie. Not necessarily partially for its content, which I'm going to talk about a little bit, but it's controversial. But full disclosure, pardon the pun, I loved it. And I will tell you, my Letterboxd review was a 4.5 and a heart. So,
wow.
And
what's the highest Letterboxd review you can give? Just give some context. Five and a heart. 5 and a heart.
Yeah, okay. It's not a perfect movie, but so like you can have a movie that's 2 stars and a heart, which is like it was a terrible movie, but I loved it.
Yeah. Okay.
So, what would you rate it on a 5-star scale? You have Letterboxd.
I do, and I did not rate it on Letterboxd. However, I love Steven Spielberg. I think he's a genius. He's pushing 80 now. But I'm just the movie. Let's talk about the movie before we go any further.
Okay.
I would say 4.
All right, well,
I'd say 4.5. 4.5. I give it 4.5.
Let's stop here. All right, 4.5.
4.5.
From this point forward, we will be talking about spoilers. This is a very spoilable movie.
Yes.
I recommend going to see it. You have been warned. All right, carry on. Okay. I've covered our bases legally.
Yeah, and this is a time where I just come in and say, listen to what we're about to talk about. Lots of thoughts on this movie. Lots of thoughts. Noah is the aficionado of all things movies. I love movies. I have not watched them as much lately because I'm trying to grow a business and trying to get my life on track. I'm just saying that's a joke, but I'm trying to get everything going as far as doing a lot of different things. So I don't have as much time for movies. Anyway, saying all that, I listen to young Noah when he tells me about what movies to watch. And he said, I have to go see this movie because it will, I don't remember your exact phrasing, but I think you said it is all the stuff. Basically, what I heard you say is all the stuff that I like. And I'm like, yes. Okay.
And I partially went to go see it knowing, because you and I talked about it before, And so my dad was interested, my brother was down, so we went opening night, like Thursday night when it opened, because I wanted to see it to do that. Like partially because I was like, if this is a good conspiracy theory movie, we're probably going to talk about it on the podcast.
Yeah, and I'm excited to know you went with your dad. I want to hear his take at some point too, because there was a lot of symbolism. There's a ton of symbolism in that movie. A lot of different things that you had to be paying attention to pick up. Overall cinematography. Let's talk about that. You got me stuck on cinematography and watching cinematography now. There was a scene that the Dodge Ram pulls up to the house and just the whole light and everything, how that like bled. I was like, that's it right there. That is why Steven Spielberg is
Dude,
money.
the scene now I had actually a qualm with this scene from the editing side, but it's whatever. From a cinematography scene, when Josh O'Connor's character runs up to that fence. The camera goes through the fence, panning around, and follows him a full one shot until he gets into the car, and then gets into the car with him to start the chase scene was just unbelievable. Like the cinematography, like he's still that guy.
Yeah.
Like Steven Spielberg is still that guy. It's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, all the way through. Fantastic from start to finish.
And
Cinematography is
something
crazy.
important to say, because and we know that the director is not the one who's all, the cinematographer and everything. This is the Steven Spielberg A-list cast for all of the supporting roles. So like the best people he could have gotten for cinematography, which is Janis Kaminski, also known, he did Schindler's List, he did Saving Private Ryan, Catch Me If You Can, The Fablemans, a lot of Steven Spielberg movies. Longtime collaborator. And then production design, just costuming, writing, all former collaborators of Spielberg. So all of that is just incredible.
So what you're saying is he broke out the A team for this
For this
movie.
story that he wrote on an iPad.
I did not. So that's the backstory. He wrote the story on an iPad.
Yeah, that's something that people have been really interested in. The question is, did he have an iPad keyboard? That's what people have been debating online.
Yeah.
So he
Um,
wrote the story on an iPad and then gave it to his writer who wrote it as a script. So he wrote the story and then it was turned into a script.
okay. Here's a movie. A question for you that you could probably answer. Is this his best Alien movie?
I haven't seen the other two. Well, I this is gonna get me in trouble. I need to rewatch ET. I watched ET for film class and I didn't really like it. And I think that it was like an issue of all the movies that I was watching around it at that time for film class. It was kind of like getting hosed down. And ET has a lot of issues. It's a very I think you need to watch ET when you're a kid. Like I don't
Yeah.
think that it's a good movie to see for the first time in film class at 20.
Right.
Or
I
like
would say
no, I
that.
was like 22.
Yeah.
So I need to rewatch it though. But I haven't seen Close Encounters yet. Um I'm I'm gonna go down a Spielberg rabbit hole. So that's gonna happen.
So asking you because you may know the answer to this question: is Spielberg a alien guy? Is he a alien buff? Is he a conspiracy theorist, or is he just a great writer of movies? Great director, writer of movies.
The based on what I've heard people say, it is just very clear through all of Spielberg's movies, even like Indiana Jones, that it's not a question of is there life out there? It's just a question of what are they like.
Mm.
So I think that he just believes it. I mean, there's the thing. I think that the thing that the nun says about God. I mean, we're gonna have to get into all the religious symbolism at some point, but the thing that she says, I think that I align a little bit with why would there not be creation outside of I don't know. I mean, it could. It's such like a it makes sense to me that there could. It makes sense that there isn't. That we're the only ones out there. But but from I would say Steven Spielberg is probably agnostic. From an agnostic point of view, then I think that he definitely does believe that there's
You
life out
think
there.
he's agnostic? With the, I
I don't
mean,
know.
I thought he was Jewish, so I don't know how that plays into his faith or not. I know he's Jewish because of his name, and I heard him associated with Jewish
Is he a
stuff before.
being that doesn't? there's like culturally Jewish and
Right,
religiously Jewish though.
right.
So
I don't know. That's a great question. Is he culturally or is he religiously or did he even have
I
it in his
Google
background
this.
growing up? Uh oh, on the spot Google. Spielberg, religious background and preference.
I should have looked this up before, but
It's interesting though that the assumption though, I think the assumption is because I don't know, maybe this is just a poor assumption from ignorance, is that he does have a religious background because I've heard him associated with, well, you know, he's a great Jewish blah blah blah, and I don't know, I heard the associations, I think. So what does it say?
there's not a definitive answer, but I remember like a lot of people think that this is him, that this movie is him saying that this is his religion, is that we are not alone and that all that he can do is like wonder what's out there. So that to me seems very agnostic, but
So
I don't think
as
he would label it that way. But
being that this is a podcast that we do delve into the conspiracy space. Once again, not a Christian podcast or conspiracy podcast, but it is. My
or a
question is
movie
this,
podcast.
or a movie podcast. So my question is this, and this is for everybody to think through. So send us an email or something if you have the same thoughts as this. Hollywood over the last few years gotten a horrible rap, if you will, of them being having an agenda. Hollywood having an agenda. Is this? Do you believe could this there be agendas in this movie? Do you think they're trying to
Um,
frame what our response to extraterrestrial life should be?
no, I do not.
Okay.
I don't think so. I think this is just a story from. I mean, I think how can you know? I don't think so. So you think that it's like advantageous to someone for us to be sympathetic to alien life?
Yes. I think
Okay. I want to hear your thoughts on this then, because I don't have a take on this.
I think that the I've just been studying a lot in this space lately, and that I think it's advantageous for them to play it out like this, for them to create this space so that they can introduce a concept down the road that we might all be more easily persuaded by. And when you put Spielberg's name on it, there's automatic credibility. It's automatic. Hey, well, if Steven Spielberg did this, it can't be that. But then I've been looking at so many things in regards to Hollywood and what they put out and some of the things that you see, and I'm like, man, do they have agendas? Are they trying to control our minds? And I'm not talking about like mind control. Are they trying to control the way we view and see things? I don't know. And that's what I struggled a lot with during. I loved this movie. I loved the storyline. I thought there was a lot of stuff in it that was very interesting in how they showed it, how they phrased it. I think a lot of the lines were very specific by design. I love one of the things I really did like, and as a Christ follower, this is what I felt like. I felt like the girl. What's her name that played the leading role? She was fantastic.
Oh, Emily Blunt.
Um,
Margaret?
yeah,
Or are you talking
Margaret.
about the second girl?
Margaret Fairchild.
Okay.
Yeah, she. They're in that the whole interaction between her and her boyfriend. As a Christ follower, I felt like that before. I felt like, man, I'm saying some crazy stuff in my Jesus space, and I wonder if people are going to hear. And like her boyfriend's response to a lot of stuff, I'm like, man, I felt like my wife has said stuff like that to me
You know who
sometimes.
that was, right? You know who that is?
No,
That's Kurt Russell's son,
I did not know that.
Wyatt Russell. He's in a lot of movies, so I've been familiar with him, but
I did not know that.
he's Captain America. Or he's like he was the fake Captain America before
I did not know that.
anyway.
See, got it.
Unrelated. But I'm a big Wyatt Russell fan, so I was like I actually didn't know he was in the movie, so as soon as he popped up, I was like,
Yeah,
the
leave
guy.
it
I love
leave it to
him.
Noah to know the stuff that I don't know.
They made a show on Apple TV called I think like Monarchs or something,
Yeah,
and it was a like Godzilla type monsters movie or TV show,
yeah,
and it was existing on two timelines in the past and the future at the same time. It was like jumping back and forth,
yeah,
and Wyatt Russell and Kurt Russell played the same character
yeah.
in the like present and the past. that was cool.
Man, over there was a couple more actors that did a really good job in that movie. And I don't remember all the names like you. Like, who was the key dude?
Josh O'Connor is the brother. The guy that's like the head of the resistance, that's Coleman Domingo.
Yeah.
The guy that's the main villain, that's Colin Firth.
Yep.
And that's most of the like A-list actors. And then yeah, that's like most of the A-list actors.
What was your favorite parts of the movie? Because we'll get it. I think this is a two-parter, so I don't want to. I don't want to get too far into the two-parter because I want to talk about the religious symbolism and its connection to.
We should just say right now we're sequestering off religious symbolism into its own episode. We
Yes,
should just we talk we're going to talk about the movie and then we can talk about the religious symbolism.
but overall, okay. Overall movie, great
Yeah.
storyline, great action scenes, great comedic relief throughout. Great moments. There was a lot of great moments in it. Um, just overall a great movie. I thought it was. Why do people not like it?
So a lot of people think that it is a way too optimistic about how people would react if we found out that, and for those that have gotten this far, I will once again say spoilers, but basically the climax of the movie is that we have known about aliens since Roswell. Like all the things that are theorized now, conspiracy theories about aliens were real. The government was hiding it. The US government specifically was
Yeah.
hiding it, and that they were experimenting on the extraterrestrial life in order to try to gain the special powers that they had, which are shown throughout the movie. Um, and there is like pretty horrifying videos shown of them torturing them um and but the way that everyone reacts to that is it's like everyone has sympathy for the aliens, and that's kind of what's shown is that everyone is like stopping to watch this broadcast, which is, I mean, that would be societal. I mean, the question is, would it actually hit like that? Would people actually care that much? Um, and I actually don't know. I thought that was a stupid thing to say at first, but then I thought about it more and I'm like, how much would people actually care?
Would everybody? So what Noah's talking about is would everybody be pretty much zoned out on their phones? I mean, everywhere you looked. I mean,
Well, that wouldn't happen.
They were showing
It
soldiers on
doesn't
the
hit the
front
same.
line. Right.
That's like the classic trope of like everyone stopping to go around the TV. And I understand that it's like you have to do it, but it just doesn't hit the same with phones.
Yeah.
It's not as good of a trope.
Um, I thought it was interesting because I thought the relevance to current times was very interesting because they talked about World War III and they talked about a lot of the stuff that's happening in the background right now with North Korea, and they talked a little bit about that. You kind of saw the war on the
Very
front line
vaguely.
very vaguely, the Russian-Ukraine war, that you kind of see that at the end. There was I found it interesting that they only showed the chaotic environment at the gas station. And they didn't really give you a lot of insight on why there was so much chaos at the gas station at that point. Like, so it's like, what was causing the chaos? Because
It's
that
just
was the
supposed to
point of
kind
the
of
movie.
give the feeling like everything in the movie kind of gives the feeling of like something's about to happen. Like something was about to happen. Obviously, the world is like ready for something to be bad.
So, do you feel like that's a current thing that we all share? Do you feel like that's kind of the mentality of right now, coming from your generation or overall?
Um, I don't know. I, I mean, it just feels like things are always happening. It's like there's always something like, um, so I mean, I think that it would have to be something pretty severe for like runs on the gas station. But I mean, if I had a bunch of gas cans, I'd be stocking up right now. I don't think that it's a whole nother conversation. Um,
Very
but
relevant,
yeah,
very,
I think
mentions of AI throughout.
that's stupid, dude. That was so dumb. I'm realizing through this conversation I have a lot more issues with this movie than I thought I did. The friggin' when they do the like pixel test to verify the videos, I mean,
Yeah.
it was obvious that somebody read the script and was like, guys, what are we gonna say to prove that it's not AI? Because that's what people would think in real life. And
Yeah.
so they just came up with like the pixel test worked. That's just not how it works, but
Yeah.
whatever.
Um, I'm trying to think anything else regarding the movie because there's so many things that I want to talk about in
So,
regards to religious symbolism, but and conspiracy
so I'll
theories.
give a little bit of my movie going experience. I saw it with my dad. I saw it with my brother. I left and I immediately was like, cinema, holy cow, that was great. My brother hated it. He said that it was really boring, that it didn't really say anything, like that there wasn't really a story. It just kind of happened. Um, and that it didn't make sense. And my dad heard both of us and he said, somehow I agree with both of you. And what I found is, and this is not, I have to like, I've been working on how to phrase this because this is how I talked about it with my dad too. Generally, people seem to agree with my brother that it was boring, a little overproduced, poorly, like, obviously the cinematography is amazing. Obviously, the shots are amazing and everything, and the sauce, but that the story is like a boomer's take on it. It's a little too optimistic, and that it's kind of boring. I think that this movie is not like it's being billed as like a summer blockbuster. It's not a summer blockbuster. It's like a not that you're dumb if you don't like the movie, but it's like a thinking movie. Like you're not going in to turn your brain off and enjoy a movie. You kind of have to think your way through it
Yep.
because it's asking a lot of questions and not I don't think it's being heavy-handed. Some people think it's being a little too heavy-handed, but I think there is a little bit of nuance that you have to think through.
When you say heavy-handed, what
Um,
do you mean?
just kind of like making its point and shoving it in your face, you
Mm.
know? I think that there's a little bit of nuance. It can be a little bit like that at times. But so I think that's kind of it. I think that like I honestly at first I was like, you didn't like that? Like how could you not have liked that? And then as I kind of saw other people talking about it, I listened to a whole hour and a half podcast of people that didn't like it. After I listened to my hour and a half podcast of people who did like it. Um, and so I kind of get the people that don't like it. It's definitely a unique film. Not everyone's gonna love it, but for like the two of us, right up my alley. Like it's so great. It's got all the things that it's not. I mean, I say right. It's not as exactly right up my alley, but it's just I was watching it. I was literally thinking in the movie. I was like, "Holy cow, Drew's gonna love this."
It checked every box for me because
Yeah.
I'm always in every movie looking for the undertones of what they're trying to say, and throughout that movie there was 50 of them at least. I'm like, and I'm just my my son was watching me. I'm just sitting here on my phone during the movie, my screen all the way down, taking notes during the whole because it was one of those spaces for me. Now I didn't leave with the same. There's only been certain movies in my life that I literally stopped watching the movie and like had this whole paradigm shift. Fight Club was one of them. Fight Club got me. When Fight Club was over, I just sat there and stared at the TV. I was like, that was wild. This I got elements of that. American Sniper. American Sniper was one of them when I was so I was so emotionally shell shocked at the end of the movie, even though I knew what happened. It was just
But you
one of
think he
those.
did all that? You think he actually did all that?
Who?
Chris Kyle, you think he actually did all that?
I think he did a lot of it. I think that
No, nobody believes that he actually did that. Just that's like I'm just telling you,
yeah,
in the movie community,
yeah.
it's kind of like, and also that movie's known for the plastic baby. I don't know if you know about that.
Uh-uh.
The baby, when he's like holding the baby, it was supposed to be edited out, and it wasn't, and it's very clearly like a plastic baby.
Oh, I'd never seen that. I did not
I've
know.
I've actually been watching American Sniper on YouTube Shorts this week.
Really?
I haven't seen the full movie, but I've seen most of it on YouTube Shorts.
The story was good. The people that were with him would say that the majority of that movie was accurate. Even though I knew it was going to happen, and then just emotional. It was the quietest I've ever heard a movie theater at the end of a movie. Now, Disclosure Day. Flipping back to what we're talking about. hand claps at the end of the movie. Like people were clapping. Yes.
What?
Yeah, yes, people were clapping.
Whoa. Okay, wait. I need. When did you? What? So this is the second weekend.
Second
You
weekend,
went.
last
When did
night,
you go? What
Sunday
time?
night, 6:40.
Okay. How many people
Sunday,
were? What theater did you go to?
Regal, Knoxville,
Which one?
um, Pinnacle, the one in Park Turkey Creek.
Okay. Did you see it in IMAX?
I did not. No, they didn't have that option
Oh, okay.
yesterday. It was a late. I think it was a 10 o'clock option for IMAX, but it was probably I don't know 45, 50 people in there, and
Wow.
claps
Hand
at the
clap
end.
second weekend. That's crazy.
Claps, yeah. Because I didn't clap. I was like, wait, everybody's clapping. That's crazy. Um, but yeah. So that was my experience. And but at the end of the movie, when we walked out, I saw it with Kenny and my youngest son, and Kenny had 1,000 questions, of course, because of my background. He was like, I have so many questions.
He didn't fall asleep though. We should have had him on. That would have been crazy. We should
I
have had Kenny on the podcast to talk about it.
that's what I was gonna say. We might do that next podcast. We might invite him in and say because he still wants to talk about it. I'm like
Yeah.
I need to call him and have that conversation. But overall, thought it was a great movie. Thought it was good. Liked all of it. Um, Once again, though, without getting into it, there's so much symbolism in that movie, and by design, and that's why I start to get concerned. I'm like, what was the I'm only going to give one away. I'm only going to give one away. The cross in her hand that she squeezes until it bleeds and then drops it. What was the purpose of dropping the cross? What was the purpose of dropping the crucifix? That's all I was like, I don't get that. I think I get it, and that's what we're going to talk about next podcast. So, spoiler alert for the next podcast. We're going to talk about the symbolism
Getting
in
me
it. And
riled up. I got all kinds of stuff I can say about that. Now I'm all riled up in my head.
yeah,
And I gotta wait.
I had to get you fired up. So, all right, we talked about the movie. Anything else that we need to say before we shut down this part one of Disclosure Day?
Shout out the movies, man. It's been a great year for movies. We've had a lot of really good movies, a lot of young writers. I was talking to him about Obsession, 26-year-old director, gonna make $300 million. Backrooms, great movie by a director that I've been following since he was 16. Made this movie when he was 19 and 20. Now he's 21, and he has the biggest opening weekend in A24 history. I mean, it's exciting. It's an exciting time. They're giving the reins to creatives. A young whippersnapper named Steven Spielberg has a film. It's great. All
Give
these
me.
young and upcoming directors.
Let me put you on the spot right now, Lilo. Put you on the spot right now. You ready?
Yeah.
Top three movies you've seen this year. Go. You have 10
That I've
seconds.
seen this year?
That you've seen this year.
Not that came out this year?
Okay, no, we'll do two parts. Top two movies that you've seen that came out this year. Top three movies you've seen this year. Top two movies
Top
that
two
came out.
movies that I've seen that came out this year.
Yep.
Nirvana the band, the show, the movie.
Okay.
Uh,
Why?
because it's. Are you ever watch? I'm trying to think of like the right example. This is not like don't compare it to this. Have you seen Borat?
Yes.
You know how like most of the people in Borat aren't actors, they're just random people?
Yep.
And you're kind of watching it and you're like, how in the world did they film this?
Yes.
Nirvana the band, the show, the movie is a comedy duo. They had a show on Canadian television called Nirvana the band, the show. And they're like hilarious, like comedy duo. But they shot this movie and they came as close to the line as they could with copyright law. Before making any decision, they had a copyright lawyer, and so it is as close to a copyright offense as you can get with a movie.
Okay.
And they shot it in public on a tight budget, and it's hilarious and amazing. Like
Okay.
it's an unbelievable watch. I'm just watching it and just smiling ear to ear, and then like the whole experience of getting to read all the interviews about how they did stuff. Like they shot a scene in at Drake's house without Drake knowing because they're Canadian, they're from Toronto. Um, so and then number two is the drama that came out this year. Robert Pattinson and Zendaya. If you somehow don't know about that movie, just go in blind and watch it. It is it is
What's the movie
the
called?
most the drama. It's
The
called The
Drama.
Drama. Pretty rated R. I'm gonna say that one's pretty rated R. But that is like the most discussion heavy movie of the year where people left and were talking about what it meant. So those are my two that came out this year.
Top three.
Best movies I've seen this year. I'm just gonna tell you the last 5-star movie I watched. Last 5-star movie I watched was Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid,
Really?
which is that is a I talk about this abstract concept called the sauce that
Yeah.
a movie has. Like a movie can technically be perfect, but it has no sauce. Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid is one of the most saucy movies I've ever seen. Like the chemistry between Paul Newman and Robert Redford, the fight sequences, there are these random like not like Ken Burns style. This is way before Ken Burns, but like Ken Burns style picture montages that take you from one like part of the movie into the next that are just exquisite. I loved it. Um, and then I also saw Seven for the first time this year.
It's classic.
That's a really good movie. I
Classic.
love Brad Pitt, man.
Brad Pitt's still doing it big. All right. Closing out. We did
What
not
has
talk
he?
about.
Is he still doing it big? Brad Pitt still doing it big? What's a movie where Brad Pitt was really Brad Pitt recently? He's out. He's good in F1.
He's good in
It's
this
a
one.
fun movie. He's good. But like, when was the last time that Brad Pitt was great? I know the answer. It was
Snatch.
2019.
Snatch. I still love Snatch.
The the Will Smith movie.
No, no.
I'm thinking of Hutch. Hold on.
Yeah, you're thinking.
Snatch.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Purple
know
the
it once I see
blue.
the. Oh, 2000. You think the last time that he was great was 2000?
No, that's just my favorite Brad Pitt movie. I think that he was fantastic in that movie, and it didn't have a
My answer is
huge.
2019.
What was it? What was
Once
20?
Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Oh yeah, fantastic movie. I'm trying to think.
Oh
of
wait, no, 2021 Bullet Train. He's amazing in Bullet Train.
Bullet Train was fantastic.
You know who else is amazing in Bullet Train? Bad Bunny. I was just blown away watching that movie.
Bad Bunny. Bad Bunny.
Bad Bunny, man. Shout out Bad Bunny once again for the second time on this podcast. Shout out Bad Bunny.
Second time Bad Bunny gets a shout out on the Countercultural Life podcast. All right, Countercultural Life, Disclosure Day, full disclosure. We're going to talk about the religiosity of the movie the next time, the symbolism. I can't wait to hear. I expect you to get some of your dad's thoughts on this because I know he had some thoughts. He had to have had some thoughts. I know he had some thoughts.
I'll see if we can get him.
Okay. All right.
He'll be fresh off a mission trip to Panama, so I don't know how he'll be feeling next Monday, but we'll see if we can get him.
All right, and if not, we'll get Kenny on the show too because he wants to talk about it, and he would be good into. I think we may get him on the show and not even tell him what we're going to talk about. We're going to tell him. We're going to talk about the movie, but we're going straight into the symbolism. See if he was paying attention.
Just tell him not even that. Just tell him we're gonna have him on the podcast.
Yeah. All right. Bet. Countercultural Life.
All right.
Shutting out. Closed out. Peace. Next time.